Welcome to the After Show for God Friended Me. This is season 2, episode 11, and it's a new year, and we have a new hope. So we have a fun new friend suggestion, a powerful family reunion, and Miles and Cara, off again, on again, I don't know, let's find out. Stay tuned.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Whoop, whoop.
Hey.
Hey, we're back. What's up?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's 2020.
It is 2020. It's looking real clear over here. We missed you guys, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. But we are back. Welcome to the After Show for God Friended Me. This is season 2, episode 11, A New Hope. So we have a fun new friend suggestion, a powerful family reunion. It's kind of a tearjerker too, so I hope you got your hankies. And Cara and Miles, we got to figure this out, but it looks like they're doing that. So we're going to discuss all of that. And we know we missed you guys last episode, so we will briefly chat about high anxiety because that was a really good episode as well. But before we get into this party, I am your ever so excited host, ready to talk about God, Jamie Alexander. What's up?
What's up?
And to my left, I have my girl, Sally, always got a word from the Lord. What's up, girl?
Thank you. Your favorite Afro-Latina here, me and Jesus is friends.
That's right. And last but not least, my A1 since day one, and the ever so opinionated and well-spoken Rochelle.
Hey, friends, I'm ready to come to this God party.
Yes. And we're all
You know what I'm
invited. So before I ask you guys what you think about this episode, because this is really packed, I really just want to jump into episode 10, High Anxiety, and go over that. Now, do you guys remember the man who purposely was a window washer and was willing to fall 40 feet from, or 40 floors?
To end it all.
Because, he was
insurance.
For the insurance for their daughter's health.
Anything for my daughter.
My God. But
It
what
was
you
very
guys think?
stressful.
Correct.
It was super, super stressful.
It's just crazy to see the certain types of questions you ask yourself, and when you come to these type of crossroads, and he was just like, is it me or my baby? And he really was selfless and put his life over put his daughter's life over his. I'm just grateful that they end up working that out, though.
Yeah, and I'm really proud of Rakesh and Miles playing counselor and tag teaming, getting the little everything together. That was amazing.
Okay.
I really love how the writers have gotten bolder with continuing to put this kind of nuance in Miles's head about him being a pastor or being used by the Lord. Like towards the beginning of like season 1 and even like season 2, they put trickles in it, but I think now we're really like in full gear. Like the window washer episode was really more so like him saying like, listen, I know this was God because I literally prayed before I heard your voice.
Wow.
And so that was a really powerful moment because before they'll like do little drops, but I think that was like very immediate. Like, no, you don't understand. I know the power of God because literally I prayed and there you were. And so come on, Miles.
Thank you for
let him
reminding
use
us.
you.
Okay.
Let him use you.
And you know what else this show is really good about is the timing. The way the timing unfolds is so loud about how it could be nothing but God, because they went through this whole thing where one person got the kidney and it didn't match their dad, but just being in the right room at the right time, having the right conversation led the right kidney to the right person to the right kid, and everybody was good. That's nothing but God.
Come on now.
Hey, GP, are you with me?
Oh yeah, we at the church, we ain't going nowhere. Okay,
right.
guys,
That's it,
don't
that's
mind
it.
us
Okay.
just a little bit.
We're excited. It's the new year.
We are, it's our first show back. So yes, that was so good. High anxiety, like that was everything. So now we got to dive into this episode.
Yes.
We're gonna dive on into A New Hope. Okay, so last episode, briefly, Cara and Miles broke up. Cara was very overwhelmed by everything that happened with her family, which is partially understandable. So we touch on that in the beginning. But what do we think about A New Hope, this episode, like overall?
Do you want to go?
I know there's a lot.
Francelli to start us off, please, Francelli.
Okay, are we loaded? Because tonight was very jam-packed.
Yeah.
No, I mean, tonight's episode was beautiful. I mean, they really came hard hitting. Like, they were like, oh, y'all wanted a break?
Right.
I gotcha. I think tonight's episode, like you said, was a tearjerker, but it also just gave you so much foundation on like what this is all about, which is faith. Like that, because every show, if you think about it, it all works out. And for some people, it's like, just does life really happen that way? Yes, and so kind of. If you think about it, even the things that don't work out for you, the things that don't turn out the way you wanted to, I wrote this down. I said, faith isn't about getting your way.
Absolutely.
And so sometimes you don't get it your way, and sometimes bad things happen, but God will turn it around for your greater good.
Correct.
And purpose will come out of it, and resilience will come out of it, and growth, right? So I feel like tonight's episode is about the foundation of faith.
Man.
Yeah, I'm really glad you said that. What did you think, Rochelle?
Shout outs to everybody in the God Friend and Me team, from just from the interns to who got the food for the writers, but everybody, because you guys did y'all thing. You guys are starting off 2020 amazing. We have nothing but positivity to say about this episode, for real. And I believe in giving credit when it was due. This episode was incredible.
It was.
And I mean, it just brought us back to the first love, just faith, and just what everything. Like all I could do was just say, "Yup," everything to what she said. The faith, everything. They did their thing.
Yeah.
Y'all already know it's only one problem I had, but we gonna talk about her.
We're going to talk about it
later.
And we had a legend tonight, guest star Judd Hirsch. Like, come on, she's a bow down.
Yeah, he's been in the game for a long time. We could share about him. But
Yeah.
let's start with our first topic here, which is a fun new friend suggestion. We were just talking about Judd. We like his personality. He was so fun and down to get brisket. He's got little jokes and stuff. So I really appreciated Abe Cohen, the new friend suggestion. Like you said, this was so much about faith. And I like how much history they shared with this, because sometimes we tend to forget about the important things that have happened to people. So to revisit, the Holocaust, Auschwitz, and to think about some of the things that people actually went through really added an extra layer of poignancy to the overlying arch of this episode. So he needed his money, and I love Joy having a lawyer on the team. That was so cool, because she was helpful.
That information that she had, she was just finding every
point.
way. Yeah, it was like, well, I need my money. Okay, well,
and
she was like, what did she major in? Elders. Something with money, the word for it.
I know, all the technical terms.
Right, but
something about
everything
getting
she
old
had,
people their money back.
Okay, don't be faking them.
Yeah.
Everything that she always had a plug for it, and it was awesome to have somebody that knew what they was talking about to help them to get to where they need to go fast.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. So I appreciated her jumping back in, and it was nice to see her here working on the case. So
Positive too, attitude, shit.
Right. Joy,
Shout out to
Joy's
you.
the new Joy.
Joy is joy.
how are you guys in the chat feeling about Joy now? I know it was a mixed bag last time she was
Right.
here. Some people didn't like how strong and kind of she was, but here we are. She's soft and helpful, and
Yeah.
She just was inhumane in a way, she didn't have any
Before?
it was just all technical. Now she has some blood and love in her life. So when I can help you get that little 80, just
Yeah.
tell me your secret. I got you.
Right.
Thank you. Because she would have came last season what you need? Money? Go out. Dang, that's an old man we talking to.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it's interesting. Shout outs to Ivan, who's in the chat with us always.
Ivan.
Welcome back. He says, this was like a brother-sister episode, a tearjerker. It really got him. But it's interesting because Cara and Miles broke up and he wasn't able to have her as the tag team. To have Joy, I feel like Joy is like his little sister. They got
I
that
like
brother-sister
that.
vibe. So I feel like it was fitting to have a brother-sister episode and for him to have his little sister back,
Did he come
That's a
up with
great
that, or
point.
you came up with that?
No, I came up with that.
Oh, okay, both of y'all. Shout out to
Yeah.
y'all. That was
Yeah.
cute. I
Yeah.
like that. I didn't think about
Come
that.
on, the Lord.
Yes, that makes perfect sense, because that
I
is the vibe that I get from them.
do.
I love that, and I'm glad he had somebody, because it would have been challenging.
Yeah.
If he
do it
had,
by himself.
Yeah, or just barely with Rakesh.
It was just too good to not do it by yourself.
Oh my God.
Ivan still hates Joy, by the way, if y'all were wondering.
All right,
Y'all were
Ivan.
wondering. That
Thank
it was
you.
Cara who's supposed to be on this episode, not her.
Okay, cool.
But
Okay, we'll
Understood.
get to that. Okay. So the 1885 Pierre Reno watch, the pocket watch. I love the not chain of command. I love the journey that this pocket watch went on.
Oh my gosh.
Because it threw us for a loop. I was really concerned. First, we thought okay, it's no brainer. We know who has the watch. Blah blah blah. They're gonna get together. But then they threw us for that curve,
Right.
And was like, oh wow, they got it from the Auschwitz camp. Excuse me, y'all. That's
It's a lot
they
of
got it from the
tongue-tied.
camp. Yeah, it is. They got it from the camp, and so it made me feel so sad, because I was really worried that he didn't get what he had put all his faith into all these years. I feel like he had faith for his sister to be alive and hope she had a life. And when I felt like that was being taken from him, that was hard to watch.
Yeah.
I still have faith. Prophet Sully was in here, prophesying. Like, listen, when they were doing the auction, I was like, she's on the phone. Mm-hmm. When we found out it was the camp, I was like, she dropped the watch on the train. Listen, Prophet Sully was prophesying. I was in there. I just had belief and faith and hope that, like, there's no way you guys are gonna do this to my band. Like, I fell in love with this character. Like, Judd Hirsch is an amazing actor, but besides that, just
his personality,
Abe was just, you just love him. I was like, there's no way you guys are gonna do my old man like that.
Nope, we was gonna jump.
God Friended Me is too good of a family show. They love us too much to do us like that.
Yeah.
So I just had faith in my writers.
Yeah. I know, and it's so funny because the whole, like, that's how it says a lot about who we are, because you had faith the whole time in me, and I was like, well, you know what, if she died, like, we just gotta realize we don't always get what we hoping for.
Right. I
was able to find a lesson in that, because, like we said, when it comes to faith, sometimes you don't always get exactly what you're hoping for. Right. However, God does use everything for the greater good. So I was prepared for Rose. I mean, if she was gone, she was gone. But maybe there was a lesson to be learned or something to be overcome. Or, maybe it just all of these things. But it's just funny how we had two different black and white perspectives. I was like, well, I don't know,
Baby Rose.
Yeah.
Titanic is gone. The watch, everything.
You got to get over it.
We don't know how to act in 2020.
That is crazy.
It's all about happiness over here, 2020.
Yeah. That was very telling. Well, that takes us really to our next topic of that powerful, tear-jerking reunion.
That gave me hope.
Oh my God.
I was like, one day it's crazy. I'm going to meet everything.
There were so many people in that room.
I was crying for real.
Oh my God.
Like, crying for real, y'all.
I've never seen Franceli cry like
tears
that.
out. We had to get the makeup together.
I put it on my Instagram, and literally people were DMing me, like, laughing, thinking I was joking. Those were real tears, people.
No, real tears.
Like, this episode really got me.
The moment she introduced herself to Grandpa, she was red. I had to look at my Taco Bell bag for no napkin.
She did.
I was trying to hold it in, but I couldn't, because usually it's always me and Mina crying, but these two right here was gone.
So sad. And I love it. Just the whole thing, the way, again, it's this journey that this little watch went on.
Yeah.
And it was so, interesting how Joy got the text to be early at her interview, and then the guy was confused, and Miles came and was able to, out of his eye, catch the Berkeley thing. I mean, there was just a lot. That is very orchestrated. I definitely feel like that's how God works in real life.
Ordained.
The orchestration of God.
Come on.
Let me get into a word this Sunday.
Please.
It's funny because they say, well, they don't say. The good book says his ways are not our ways and his thoughts are not our thoughts.
That's right.
But it's interesting how we have our way and our thought and our perspective of a story, because when he thought his sister was dead, his perspective and his thought of the story was that he was a coward
and
that it was his fault and that he ran. But her perspective,
You're my hero.
and that he was the hero.
Opposite.
It's so interesting how in life that happens a lot. And when we choose to not operate in humility and we just operate in pride, then we will continue to stay stuck in our narrative, in our perspective, and not find healing in truth. Because the whole point of this episode is he was seeking the truth, but there was a lie inside his story the whole time. And so the truth did set him free in a way that he had no idea, because it was a whole other perspective in a whole other way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm done. I'm done for the night.
No. We need her back in 2 minutes.
Yeah, in 3, 2, 1, because we got more. No, but it's very true. And I love that. I love how God Friended Me has a way of giving people that next level of insight.
Right.
Because we've seen this before where the other woman who had the brother that was sick and ran away, she felt like that was all her fault, that her parents got mad because he was gay. And, so we're seeing all of these things where people like ourselves are carrying weight that, one, is not ours to carry, that, two, is coming from an outdated or uninformed story.
Wow.
And so when we move and operate out of that, like you said, if we don't have the humility and we're just, in our rah-rah moments, we miss things. Like, for example, even if Joy had done that and been like, they're tripping, my thing isn't until 4, I'm not about to go, what are we doing? Just anything, instead of like being open to the flow. of life and things. So how did you feel, Rochelle, when they walked in and they revealed the whole family and everything was going on?
Same. My tears were flowing too. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. It was so humane. It was so touching. It honestly gave me hope. Like in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, one day this will happen. You know, like, I mean, cause that's how life is. We haven't met all of our families, and especially us, all three of us being African Americans, only Lord knows.
Oh, see, but we can relate for that reason.
That's
on a different level. You know what I mean?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, it's so many families, so many ancestors that's been through so much.
Separated.
Oh, girl, that's what I was thinking my whole time. Like, this is so beautiful. It's so restoring. It was just so beautiful.
You know what? I love that you said restore, because I really do feel. Now, I've had this moment before. I think it was like 2016. And 2016 did have its restorative properties. But I definitely feel like since this is a new decade, there will be restoration in a way that we probably didn't even guess or have seen before. I definitely feel that. So I love that this first episode
Now you're going to make me listen to J. Moss Restore.
Well, now I have a question, ladies.
What's up?
Is there a restoration for Miles and Cara?
Ooh, that takes us to the third.
I mean, I just need to know.
I was trying to stay holy-fied.
Amen.
Nope, not to that. To
we gotta talk about it, y'all. It's time for topic 3.
She is not on board. She is not Team Cara.
And we're gonna talk about this. So this is our third topic here. Cara and Miles, off again, on again.
Ooh, toxic. J. Cole.
What are they doing? Rochelle, how do you feel about Cara? Okay.
She has a lot of
Yeah.
feels.
Okay, listen.
She has
This
a
is
lot
my
to say.
thing.
Break it down.
You already know. I'm 27. I feel like we too grown for these games. You feel me? You got this young, beautiful man.
Fine
Okay.
thing. Okay, let's talk about the fine thing.
Come on, go
That
ahead.
is
We have
Brandon Michael Hall. No, I'm
Thank
joking.
you. No, I'm about to say you can elaborate on that.
You know, no, I'm joking. Go ahead.
But still, it's just like we have this awesome guy, you know, regardless of who he is, this awesome, amazing guy who's willing to put his career in a way, you know, like God friend of me is how he make his bread and butter. He's willing to give that away, looking for the man to ask him, hey, can you find another manager for this? Just so who can be with you. And you when he relays this, you show no type of empathy. You show no type of, like, to me, I would have been like, it's a dub. Like, I'm cool, little mama. Like, it's all good, but I cannot give more than what you give it. Like, you not matching me. No way, no how.
He's not matching.
And I didn't like that. I
She's
just didn't
not.
appreciate that. Now, she might be an amazing person in real life, but this Cara character, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Wow.
So I'm hoping Miss DJ come back 2020.
Miss DJ, no.
Forgot about the DJ.
That's
Nah, I be
horrible.
I'm like, girl, where you at?
Wow. Well, Ivan says that he feels like Miles and Cara are kind of back together.
Yeah.
Like they kind of came to a resolution somehow. I mean, it's still kind of, I don't know, it's kind of muddy waters is how I feel about the situation, because it's true at the end of the day, she's like, oh, you're worth the risk. But again, if things don't turn out the way she wants, then she's going to give up on him. So I don't know. I'm on the fence about her, because you're right. It's like, why isn't it your first inclination to fight for me?
Yeah.
You know? And I get it. People process things differently. But I'm the girl who's like, if you don't realize it from offset,
Come on.
from the gate that I'm worth it, I'm not really trying to sit here and convince you.
Correct.
That
And he used that
I'm the
word.
one. Like what? Like what? You don't like me? You.
He's giving
We
his
moving on in
all.
2020.
Well, there are so many other eligible bachelors out in the world that think that I'm amazing.
Asked that. She said she told him, she said, if you can find a way to not compromise the friend requests and they jeopardize their lives, and you find somebody to replace it, then we will work through it. He did that, or at least that's what he's showing. Like, he's giving you the it's
Action.
it's not like a movie when it's like, dang, why don't you tell your wife this is what you're doing so it don't look like you cheated? Like, he literally is telling her through the process what I am doing, baby. With all this hope in his eye, you just girl.
not
If I
having
was
it.
I
Wow.
promise you, if I was in that bar, I would have bought him a drink with my number. Like,
Wow, those faces.
Yeah, no, I have to agree.
Just
But
disrespectful.
it's true. And so I took a quote that I actually tweeted this earlier this week, but I feel like it's so relevant to Cara. But my tweet says that real love has the capability to not just meet our desires, but also to transform us into who we have the potential of becoming.
Wow.
And for me, when I look at Cara, I'm like, but girl, what are you willing to risk? What are you willing to change? If you think everything's just going to be like, oh my God, I got
Flowers,
pricked.
right.
My family got hurt. I'm done. Like, sweetie, how on earth are you going to get through any
growth.
relationship. And when she was sitting there talking to her mom, I just kind of felt like, well, yeah, she's full of making fear-based decisions.
Right.
And whenever you make a decision based out of fear, I think it's the wrong one.
Wow.
And her mom was able to present the loving decision and option, like, well, look, you came back with me. We can't run around this world trying to avoid heartbreak. And I know it because I used to be that person to a core. And it keeps you from living and flowing. It's a very small box. And I need Cara to get on out of it because cool, but we got to feel the fear and do it anyway, Cara. This is 20.
Courage.
20. Yeah, there's a courage. When you commit to somebody in a relationship, there's a lot of things you need to be open to. There is more courage. You do need to be concerned about the other person and transparent, bold. There's all of these ways that I feel like you have to step up and fill in. And I haven't seen any of that from her. He had to chase her to get an I love you. He had to chase her across the Paris. He had to chase her. And I get a man is supposed to court, but like, girl, you like games. 5 steps behind every move. I just...
See,
I can't.
You over her too.
I can't do it because I put the shoe on the other foot. If somebody was treating me like that, I would have banged on. Because he even used the word convince. Like if I have to convince you I'm the one, I'm good.
If that was your son.
Let me pray about it real quick.
Yeah, you need a moment on that.
Here's the thing, the interesting thing about what I was saying earlier about perspectives, right? You have to understand a woman from the beginning who Cara has been, right? A woman who felt abandoned, left, not enough, right? Those are like the labels that are in the depths of her soul, right?
Yeah.
And there are these labels that kind of carry us through life that we have to shed and do the work. And just when we think we're over it, there's more work to be done. And so I think that here she meets this incredible man. And if we remember last week's, the episode last time about the cleaning, the window washer, there was this moment where she was like, I can't let you walk away from this today. Was such a reminder of who you are. Yeah. And here's the thing about being with someone who's destined for greatness. It can feel intimidating. It can feel as if I'm less than. And one day he's gonna look at me and think, she ain't really enough. I'm gonna leave. And although they haven't addressed that in the show yet, I just think that at times that's a real battle in relationships. Absolutely. Where like sometimes you see the gravitas of the person you're with and you're so like, good. Wow, should I put my hope in this?
Yeah.
Should I really put my stake in this? Because like she said in tonight's episode, this is a battle that I don't know I can win. And sometimes when you're battling against God, in this regard, the God account, but in regards of purpose and destiny, you know someone's destined and purpose to do great, amazing things, and you don't necessarily feel like you're their equal yoke, and you can sharpen that iron, you're gonna self-sabotage. So
that makes sense.
I get it.
That. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
And you're very right, because when you get into a relationship, you're either carrying things and you're ready. I don't think she was ready from the get-go. She didn't have the space.
Right.
None of this stuff came up till she even met him, and they were friends. However, I don't think she had the time to heal and really get in there and discover everything about herself in order to receive a man like this. But what I can see is he's not just talking. He's showing up in action. So there has to be a point where every single situation they go through, he ain't like, come on, girl. You not coming? Are you coming? Are you like he is
queen?
Yeah, like he's showing you in action that he's finna be there. So I just think sometime in this show, I gotta stop watching her with all the faces, like,
yeah.
And I don't know, and I get it, but it's like,
yeah.
It's,
I mean,
it's hard to
clearly
watch.
he is made for you, or vice versa, because the universe and God continues to put them together. So clearly, girl, you are worthy. You are made for this man, and this man loves you. So therefore, just keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, but just show that you are there and that you are present. Like, that's all. I think that's all he cares about too. Clearly, he accepted you for all your flaws and everything, and he knows, like, he knows your whole business. You know, but it's just like, go for the ride and don't be scared. Turn that fear into courage.
And then not only that, but I know what happened with her family was a little bit devastating.
Yeah.
But I also think she's misplacing the energy. Like, her stepfather did what he did. I mean, she's known more about the God account than she's known about him what it looks like.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, how could you be so quick to abandon something that's shown improved time and time again and yielded positive results, but then make it so negative? Like, I don't want this to happen to me again. Like,
not in the perspective.
I mean,
perspective.
Ivan has brought up a great point in the chat. Do you not forget how many leads they've had and it's led to nothing? Like, she's been disappointed time and time again about like who's really behind this God account, getting to a resolution. So putting the stake of their relationship on the revelation of who's behind this God account is a lot to put on something that they keep getting.
But you know what? That's the wrong question. They be asking the wrong question. They're not doing this to find out who the God account person is. They keep throwing that in on their own whim. When they follow what is given to them, it always works out.
Yeah.
So with her, I feel like if she follows what is given to her.
Well, we have to remember he's an atheist and she's agnostic. So again, if they were really rooted in the fact that they believed in a God, right? They wouldn't need to know who's behind the God account. But we have to remember the foundation of who they are is, yes, everything about the show is writing about them finding out who's behind this darn account. Because he doesn't believe that it's God. And she's still on the fence questioning if there's a God.
Right.
So she's like, I believe there's something. It's the universe, right? So again, when people... no disrespect. Like, I respect everyone. But again, if that's their position, then you cannot judge someone who doesn't see it from the perspective of people who are faith-based and do believe in a God. So I'm not judging them. It's just the reality of this is the way they think based on what they believe in. The same way people can say, well, Sally thinks like this. Well, yeah, because I love Jesus. So, yes, there is a certain way I'm going to believe and think and move in the world because Jesus is my compass.
Your foundation.
Yeah, I mean, they've gotten a lot of evidence, regardless of what they believe in, and I would just like to see her choose a section to work on, because I feel like they put all the weight on, if the God account is this, if the God account, but I never heard her consider, like, healing from the situation with her family so she could accept him and the God account. I don't know. Trish was able to make it happen.
Yes, they're moving up the wedding,
y'all.
They're
moving up the wedding.
There's a wedding happening next week. I'm so excited.
I love it. I loved how they resolved and got to everything. So I feel like we covered our topics really well, but then there was also, this overlying topic, of course, of what like who's behind the God account. And that was a good point, because a lot of the friend suggestions Arthur Feiner has been in the middle of, and all of these things. So
they made the connection.
Yeah, I was going to say they made the connection. Rakesh talking to the little hacker homie, finding out what's going on with New York Sun. All the little things that led him to Alphonse Jeffries.
Yes.
Alphonse Jeffries.
Shout out. What do you guys think? He went to Howard, HBCUs in the house.
His Facebook page said it. Yeah, it did. So what do you guys think? Are we closer to finding out who the God account is?
I believe we've always known from the beginning that they chose Miles for a reason, that there is a personal connection to why he was chosen. So I think, again, this is great. We're getting a step closer. They went to the war together, and it helped reconnect him and his father. So this makes sense. Yes, and the fact that it's only episode 12 next week, I don't think they're just going to give it all away to us. Like, there's no way it's him. It's going to take us a step further deeper into the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Is my prediction.
Agreed 100%. I couldn't see that happening today unless they throw us for a spin, and next week we do find out who it is. But it's such a cat mouse type of it's like like we really don't want to know. Keep the firm requests coming. That's all.
Yeah, keep the firm requests coming. That's all we care about. Yeah, so I guess we'll find out next week. And before we wrap up this part and go into a little bit of news and gossip in our special segment, can we talk about Allie, please, coming out of oncology?
Listen, y'all,
we just said a prayer for
you. At the beginning of tonight's after show, I talked about how Godfriend and Me wouldn't do this to us. They're a good family show. They wouldn't give my boy Abe this heartbreak with the sister and the Holocaust. But then they dropped this bomb on us. Ooh. And here's the thing, we know her mother has a history of cancer, but we know her mother beat the cancer and died a different way. Yes, and still, I would be devastated if Allie has cancer and dies. Oh, no.
I think it does give, a little sauce to it.
It does.
So if anything, I was watching Black Ink Crew, like Chicago, I think. and they did like something like that. I don't know if it was true or not, because, this is reality is scripted. But basically she felt something, and then, it was really dramatic. But it was, I don't know what type of tissue it was or whatever, but it wasn't cancer. So I think they may take us for a loop like that. You know, like, they seen something and they want to be cautious and they want to, cut her titty open and get out some, tissue, just like, like test it out, just take us through the loop. But when they do it, they're going to be like, either she found out very quickly that they can take care of it immediately, or it was just, checking it out. So
now, I mean, I don't want her to go, but this happens.
And then she did, and saying that she's not okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm glad she told the truth, though. Because when she tried to say, I'm here for a friend, I said, sis, if you don't get your lying tail out of here.
Yeah,
that was talk about my Javicia girl like that.
Yeah, but she got to tell the truth, and I'm glad she did, because
me too.
there was, again, a reason for the timing, that Cara happened to be there visiting her mom, who just happened to get a new job, and so she's got a little bit more love and support than she originally asked for.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure in the next episode we're going to see the unfolding of how Cara has this secret, who's going to tell Miles what's really going on, blah, blah, blah. Y'all did it. That was good. Y'all did the doggone thing for A New Hope, episode 11. That was amazing. Thank you guys so much for that. And I guess now it's time to jump into a little bit of news and gossip.
Hey.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Listen, we talking about good news today. Now, I know we talking about Javicia being Ali on God Friend and Me, and she's not okay. God forbid she may have cancer. But listen, we going to talk about her now, because Baby Girl just got renewed for season 2 on BET Plus. Cause Weber, The Family Business. If you could see right now, we have she's alongside with some awesome people like Lisa Ray, Clifton Powell, Tammy Roman, all these awesome actresses and actors. Yes. I was like, I had to find a really awesome
Clifton
picture.
Powell's of Alphonse Jeffries in the next episode.
Yes.
Come on,
No,
somebody.
not Clifton Powell. Sorry, I'm getting them mixed up with somebody else, but I do love Clifton Powell. Please carry on.
But yes, you guys, like, this role with Javicia is incredible. She has guns and stuff. It's just a whole different role.
A whole different type
I was
of
like, okay, little mama. She was the little ride or die. So she plays an actress called Paris Dukin. So please, you guys definitely check it out. It is on BET Plus. Check out season 1, and they're renewing for season 2. So you guys can stay updated and continue to support Miss Javicia like we do.
Yeah, she's doing her thing. And her Instagram is always popping. Body on point.
Killing it.
Going
Traveling.
to Africa, doing her thing.
Shout
I love
out.
her.
She came to the show. So, Javicia,
Yes,
we'd
we
love
need
to
you
have you
back.
back.
Yes, congratulations, girl. Happy 2020.
I love that. And that was it for us on that?
Yes, that is
awesome. We love it. So thank you guys so much. So now, not last but not least, but let's jump into our special segment, God Speaks. So this is a segment where we share something that came to us during the week where we feel like God spoke to us. And let's just dive into that. Did you guys have any moments that you could think of this week where you felt like God was speaking directly to you, or did you learn or grow in a certain way?
I can start off. So I actually posted this literally before we got on air on Instagram. And it says, sis, burn the bridge because, sis, burn the bridge because where God is taking you, you will never have to walk it again. And I was just thinking about, you getting them old Texas New Year's, they be like, what's up, girl?
Man,
I was thinking
they
about
always trying to come back. Don't even get me started.
I'm telling you. And I'm just like, you know what? And I mean, it could be used in different situations. It could be a job or whatever cross, that you may have burned to healthy and stage your life out. We ain't got to go backwards. It's 2020. We are moving forward. We are speaking greatness in our lives. And I'm so excited for that. That just touched me. So I hope it's touch you too, sis or bro. Okay.
Nice.
Agreed.
It's interesting because at the top of the year, a lot of people are in good spirits. It's a new year, but we forget that some people aren't. And so I wrote this today. I said, good day, beautiful people. The first Sunday of the year. Today, you may not feel at your optimum best. Some are feeling like they didn't start the year the way they thought they would. Lean not on your own understanding. On the first Sunday of last year, God used me to help a fellow sister surrender her life to Christ. It was a very special day. Looking back, I remember not necessarily feeling my best or even feeling like being at church that day, but I pushed through and look at how God showed up. Push through. You are one step away from God revealing himself in your situation. I pray that today we press through the hard things, the uncomfortable things.
That's so good.
Gosh,
Thank
I
you for
love
sharing.
that. Huh. Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. You might have to send that to me.
I was
We're
gonna
have to
say,
read
get
that
you
again.
post that so I can save
Yeah.
it, bookmark
I
it,
did post
screenshot
it.
I
Check
really
out my
love that.
stories at
Okay.
Selly Hangout.
There we go. And yeah, so this is a new decade, and I feel it 1,000,000% on a cellular level, where everything is different. And what becomes challenging about that is, I mean, we should always be a student, but you're learning everything over again. Like, I really noticed very loud this week that I was having some of the same thoughts, but there was no emotion tied to it. So I'm like, oh, did I grow?
Baby girl, you grew.
Yes, and it just feels so good because I'm like, oh my God, I'm running this same narrative but I'm running it and I don't feel it, so I can see it, therefore eliminate it. And so what I posted today, and I suggested people read it twice because it stood out. It says, this new chapter in your life is going to require a new way of seeing things and a new way of seeing yourself. You can't continue to see and interpret things with the same understanding that you have had until now. It's going to require a new, empowering, and positive way of seeing and interpreting everything. Ultimately, in order to see something new, you're going to need a new way of seeing things. No matter what you face or how you feel, see it from a higher perspective. And that I can do. I got fresh eyes. This is a fresh decade. I'm ready for fresh revelation and just fresh everything. I'm excited and looking forward to everything that this year and this decade has to bring. So that's the way God spoke to us, guys.
And thank you guys also for definitely continue to be live on this chat, talk to us back and forth. If you guys are listening on iTunes, please make sure you guys give us a thumbs up. We are so grateful that you are here helping us the same way we are helping you guys. Thank you so much. We are for making us the ESPN of TV shows. So make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe and make sure y'all like, because we appreciate it. Stay tuned because we're going to shout y'all out. You know how we do.
Yes, we are. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is so exciting. Please feel free to follow us all on Instagram because we all have very inspirational things that we would love to share with you. Tell us, interact with us. Tell us how we help you learn and grow and what you love about the show. But my name is Jamie Alexander, and you can find me on Instagram at Jamie Alexander.
Your favorite Afro-Latina at Selly Hangout.
And I am Rochelle. You guys can find me on Instagram at RoachBaby. That's RoachBaybee.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.